It's coming off. Chileka kola ningwa tefe akuchita. So fast tell you never mona minwe. I've been painting. I like doing DIY stuff. So apa kwa chove chair isako live chair Steve Groy shan much. Epo mudi bana BM ka fast fiaka before tawara mrufia na pa Facebook. Ndamona sana nanga nshireza live wa UPND barasa mwasa. Mayro na ishile miranga kofe kasmayo mwamba chanishi nata umkomfadero na mumfu. You're so beautiful. Seriously? Sambire no kusamba. Depenta. Diwa miyakwenganda. Vamporokoso. Usaka diranda. Koro winner. Let's in a petition. But it's not a winner. Eh? So, Kuruku Furunga, now Mwishiva, this country must not turn into a banana republic. Eh? This country must never turn into a banana republic. You see, yesterday, you closed the courts yesterday. You closed the courts yesterday. The petition is still ongoing. You can go and sign that petition. We're still going to take this matter to ICC. Yesterday, you closed the courts. And the worst part is that what happened yesterday was that UPND cadres, vale full ama red t-shirts, no kufuala ama combat. Ukufuala ama uniforms. Yaba soldier, ama uniforms. Yaba kapokura no kia mkula time ya abantu ma offices. No kuisala ama courts. That's what happened yesterday. The people that were chasing and closing the course were UPND cadres. So you closed the course yesterday. Today, Hamasaka comes and says, Haka Inde Ishima did not order to close the course. So who ordered? We asked the question in the morning. Who ordered the closure of courts? Was it Chief Justice Mumba Malila or was it Haka Inde Ichilema? Because the only people that can or are mandated to close the courts, one is the Chief Justice who presides over the judiciary, who can close the courts, or Haka Inde Ichilema. So if Hamasaka is saying no, Haka Inde Ichilema did not order the courts, did not order to close the courts, then who closed the courts? Because that one is tantamount to treason. But I'm doing this live very quickly. What I want to talk about is the receipt of the petition. Now, what I want to talk about right now is the receipt of the petition. Now, you close the courts. In the morning, I was telling you to say, whether Namuisalama courts, when it comes, during an election, takwa Chief Justice who ya Parises, or Chief Justice who ushde womba yo. So when you close the courts, the Chief Justice office must be open all the time. Momon, Haka Inde Ichilema was pronounced as winner of this election. Is not been sworn in. So who's presiding over the affairs of this country? The mantle goes to the Chief Justice. If Babran Mundubire, for example, was the one that was declared winner, Haka Inde Ichilema was supposed to hand over to the Chief Justice the instrument of power, and the Chief Justice would have now stopped acting as president when Bran Mundubire was sworn in. Same applies to Haka Inde Ichilema. So Nomba, there are two people who can close the courts. I asked Hamasaka ni communication specialist wa State House, who closed the court. If Haka Inde Ichilema, because what you did yesterday is tantamount to prison. To treason. There's absolutely no way you can close the courts. Who had the rights to close the courts? Yeah? Now what you're doing in this country is this. Unless comes to invest in this country, no investor will come to invest in our country. Why? Because now the judiciary is seen to say it is not independent. Because there is no way what about the other causes that are pending? Because you want to stop a petition from filing in. Then you ask a clerk, administrator, court to write a letter to say they did not receive a petition. Uyo clerk who should receive are bombayena. So if she was not working, why were you manning the courts? Yeah? And then how did she know that there was no petition that was filed in? You closed the courts, you took Hama soldiers could have court, no one should go through. So on exceptional circumstances, your cadre had to walk out mukoti when you were chasing next paper judiciary, no kiata ipakunganda no kusaina. Because even today the courts are closed. So who gave an order to close the courts? If it is Hakainde Hichilema, he committed treason. You can't put things on hold to say, no, not because the 24 petition. But what I'm trying to say is this. There's this now conversation or this debate to say that letter was sent to the private email of the Chief Justice. That is why he's the Chief Justice. Okay? There are matters that rise, pending matters, urgent matters. And it is legally correct to send such a letter to the Chief. Mind you, Linda Kasonde was last president. She knows what she's doing. She's a lawyer. So, if the court premises an urgency matter arises, you have to have access to the Chief Justice. It's like Hakainde Hichilema. Hakainde Hichilema got the phone number. He can call someone over an emergency to say, Iwe isakuno isakunchto. Or Iwe do this over the phone. So as long as that email belongs to Justice Madira and he has acknowledged the receipt of the petition, it means that petition was filed in. It means that petition was just by virtue of him accepting receipt of that petition. It means that petition was filed. Why am I saying so? I'm saying this because the Chief Justice Wamumba Madira presides over the judiciary of our country, is the overall boss. And in a situation where we have an election, a pending petition of an election, he takes charge, he takes over. So by virtue of him acknowledging that receipt, it means that petition was filed in. Even an intention to file in a petition, you have to hold on. So if you want to, if Bamumba Madira, for example, Bamumba Madira, because he's the one who's supposed to swear in Hakainde Hichilema. So how is he going to swear in Hakainde Hichilema when it is dated, registered, that he himself received that petition and he has forwarded it to the Constitutional Court? And this is what I used to say. If you remember very well, I used to tell my judges to say, look now. Look over Chalo Chaka Savana. This man does not even understand any glimpse of the law. He's abrogating the law and is using he has continuously making you guys look like fools. Like what I'm totonkanya. Like he's this man has continuously toyed around with the very constitution that he sought to uphold. Today he wants to do things illegal. He wants to be sworn in illegal. There is absolutely no way but Justice Mumba Malila can go and swear in Hakainde Hichilema when he has forwarded the same petition to the Constitutional Court. And this same man will come and turn around, no come to the fire if you're not careful. If you're not careful, I keep on telling you this. I keep on telling you this. Even during the eligibility, if you ever watch that, this guy will come around and he will bite you. Because this man does not have loyalty. He will turn around, fire you and replace you. If in them you're fishing car, you need to stop this nonsense by ensuring that this country does not turn into a banana republic. By constitutional court, you have to consider that. It has been sent to you by the Chief Justice himself. After what? After acknowledging the receipt. Of course, he cannot keep it himself. Why? Because it has to go to the constitutional court. So what the Chief Justice has done is direct that petition to the rightful court. So you cannot use a clerk of the court, administrator of court, and say, we did not receive any petition. But Patrick Kangwa, it was in 2023 when I was asking you to resign. I told you to say, Ababantu, resign whilst you still can. Look at your career. You became secretary to the cabinet, you were deputy secretary to the cabinet under the Patriotic Front. You become secretary to the cabinet and look at how they've messed you up. You become a total cadre. The other time you were reading about Katotobo, you were being used under duress. Your tie was one side, Ukso. You were stressed. That letter, you didn't even sign it. You were reading that letter at gunpoint. Look at how you have become a secretary to the cabinet. Today you want to now continue with this illegality and say, oh, secretary to the cabinet, Patrick Kangwa's issued a statement. There was no receipt of a petition. Therefore, integration must carry on. The Chief Justice for Patrick Kangwa has acknowledged receipt of a petition. And he has sent it to the Constitutional Court. Who are you, Patrick Kangwa, secretary to the cabinet, to issue to say there was no petition filed in? And if she knew that there was no petition, so if she was working, why did you close the courts? Yeah? Why did you close the courts? Because when I said I'm a court anymore. And after realizing that what you did was tantamount to treason, Hamasaka comes out and starts writing, oh no, Ichilema did not order the closure of courts. If it was security reasons, why is the cabinet office open? Because I'm a court why say I'm a premises. It's near to the secretary to the cabinet office. Not only that, there are more offices that are open. If it's really for security reason, because I'm not that party, I'm a bomb party. Building secretary, I'm offices kubumuka. So why did you not close other offices? If it's for security reasons, you closed those offices because you wanted to prevent a petition. The evidence is they were overwhelming that these elections were stolen. And because you know that you did not win these elections, because the evidences are overwhelming, you want now to be the one to decide what and what. Nonsense. 2016. We are in 2026. You cannot. PF was lost power because you did not like what was happening. You cannot continue using if you are 2016 and say, oh, if you know, we know because haka in the ichima euriko. This is the last time we have to rescue this country. Because you cannot continuously let haka in the ichima toy around with the country and the constitution as he so please. This man has really destroyed this country. He's messed up this country. And there will be no justice in this country as long as Imwemwema judges do not do the right thing. This is about the country and the people. You cannot have cadres dressed in military uniform to go and beat up people. What are you making of our own army? Now, borders, Papa to say, the military manning elections. Where on earth? I'm a soldier now. You were walking there moving people away from polling stations. The military. Military. Where on earth? Where on earth? This is the first time we've seen military Ingram polling station. Mwamba no chinja number. You even start changing. Why is it you announce ama results that no, the results has not changed? Now, simple mathematics you will not do. But you know that Hakainde Ishama did not win these elections. So you are trying by all means to put him as an imposter president. And that's why it comes down to you. Ba Chief Justice. Muisamba. Tekwe waktifi mwatuma Constitutional Court. Imonish muasamba mu. You are Chief Justice of this country. You know what the law says. You know that by virtue of you acknowledging receipt of that petition that has been filed in, tell Secretary to the Cabinet Kangwa to reverse his statement. Because Bakangwa, I'm telling you, don't think you're safe. Bakangwa, I'm telling you, I started to tell you in 2023 to say resign. Resign and maintain your dignity. Look at how you've been messed up. How you've been used. Cadres are telling you, about Secretary to the Cabinet, what to do. Cadres are telling you to write a letter and read it out. Whilst you are defenseless. They took you out of your bed, sleeping, to come and issue a statement about militia. Your tie, the way you tied your tie could tell. In and out, you were very observant. I was just waiting. I would go live and tell the people. Tai yenu mwaka kiro oku. Tai yenu wakwanga mwaka kiro uku. Kuikoshi uku. No tapa. Your demeanor, your facial expression, the way you were conducting yourself showed to the world that even what you are reading was not the truth. Now, for how long, Mr. Patrick Kanga, are you going to be used as a doormat? Because I can tell you that Tawa Kawana today is your boss. Tawa Kawana will tell you what to do and you will do it as Secretary to the Cabinet. Your PSAs have become your bosses because they are cadres to waka in the Chilem. How long will you let yourself be used as a tool? How long will you let yourself be insulted, be demeaned? You've had a glorious career, Patrick Kanga. So now, Patrick Kanga, tell me something. Tell me something. Who has the powers between Uda Administrator Clerk, what court, na Chief Justice? Which letter carries weight between Udia Ushale Bomba yesterday, when the courts were closed, and a Chief Justice who sits on the judiciary, the overall boss of the judiciary, who has the power? So, Imama Patrick Kanga, you want to undermine the constitution of this country and continue now because you think HH will protect you. HH will protect no one. HH is for him and himself alone. Most of the people that he has fought of, so votes, he will get rid of you at will. And because you're toying with the law of this country, because you're toying, there will be no law to protect any one of you. Be it you are a civil servant, be it you are a Maliketi, be it you are any one of you. Because now you are making HH to become law. That is why. Because you are forwarded that you must no. Do right by the country. Do right by the constitution. That petition was filed in. You acknowledge receipt. The Concord cannot look elsewhere. No. It does not work like that. You are the boss who has forwarded that petition to the rightful court. It means that court must sit and deliberate that constitution. They thought personally, Brand Mundubire, who petitioned Babika Mundu Rebesa Zaka in the Ichima. No. Just Linda Kasonde and the others. So it is the citizen of the people. The people that were voting that are petitioning this petition. Not personally Brand Mundubire. Because the people have got evidence to show that these elections, one, they were not free and fair. Two, ECZ, but Electoral Commission of Zambia were culprits who were stealing votes. There is evidence of results of Kamvisa constituency. Brown Mundu will have got 19,000 votes. ECZ announced that Brown Mundu will have got 14,000. Aka in the Ichima got 11,000 Kamvisa. What did ECZ do? They announced that Aka in the Ichima got 16,000. Evidence is there. Videos are there. We have documented all these videos. So you cannot say there is no grounds of petition. The evidence is overwhelming. Secondly, but ECZ would announce same constituents, same Nanikade 2 times. And then they say, no, the thing has not been affected. Thirdly, the voter turnout in Southern Province. We have videos of Abantu Batatu, Pamulain. 40,000 yaref maku. 40,000 yaref makuisa. Imwe by Electoral Commission of Zambia. Mwangara Zalomes, just Mwangara Zalomes presiding over this election is a call of nullification of results. Why? Because she has. Hello, baby. Let me get you some juice. Just that is conflict of interest. Just that is conflict of interest. So just on that one, that's a basis of nullification. If the evidence is overwhelming, the very fact that the Electoral Commission of Zambia could not allow the results that they were announcing to be verified, that in itself shows you that there are some discrepancies here. There's some votes in Solwezi Central. Solwezi Central, ama votes, Ayakwa president exceeded the votes of an MP. Now the question is, the voter turnout of an MP was lower, and Ayakwa president were twice, times 2 Ayakwa MP. The question also that should be addressed in the Constitutional Court is this. Each voter is given, I think, 4 ballot papers: presidential, parliamentary, councillor, and mayor. So how does the presidential vote become twice as the parliamentary numbers? These are questions that needs to be answered by the Constitutional Court. The numbers do not tally. So the Constitutional Court has to look at the numbers announced by the ECZ and announced at the polling station, because the evidence is there. Where the polling station, the numbers differ to what is on the totaling center, Kumlungush. All this is the basis of nullification. Second, you deploy soldiers in the polling station. Before that, you say, okay, we suspend the announcements. Then you call the G20 forms. Don't post these G20s. Then you chase polling staff. And then you want to say, I have won. If Akainde Ichirem has won these elections, why is he scared to go through the numbers? What are you scared if we go through the numbers without your Mwangara Zalomes? Finish your from Letina Akainde. We don't want an imposter president. The will of the Zambian people must not be suppressed. So even you, our Constitutional Court, one thing you need to realize and understand is that this lady told you even before how Akainde Ichirema operates. These courts, this constitution does not belong to Hakainde Ichirema. It belongs to the people of Zambia. In our preamble, in our constitution, we say, we, the people of Zambia, give ourselves this constitution. We acknowledge Zambia as a Christian nation. It is there in our preamble. It does not say Hakainde Hichilema gives us our constitution. It does not. It says we, the people of Zambia. So if the people of Zambia that voted in these elections are aggrieved, it is you now, the constitutional court, to give a listening ear to the people of Zambia. Otherwise, you will be accomplices of anarchy and accomplices of treasonous cases. Because you are there under taxpayers' money, not because Hakainde Hichilema is paying you. Hakainde Hichilema does not pay you. The people of Zambia pay you. So you have to protect, one, the constitution. Two, this republic, for it not to turn into a banana republic. Because not even you the judges, not even you, Wamumba Madira, will be protected. If you dare mess up and don't allow the law to take its course, not even you, Wamumba Madira, will be protected. You'll be removed at will. So do the right thing. Do the right thing. This goes to the entire judiciary. You have to give the Zambian people their listening ear. Look at the numbers and all the evidence laid upon you. It shows these elections are now unvoid. How do you turn? How do you explain that right now as I sit to you, as I talk? Mandevu constituents, the ECZ have not announced results of Mandevu constituents. How do you explain that overnight, Mr. Batox became mayor of Lusaka? How do you explain that? Even with evidences before you, you overturn a guy that conceded defeat in Matero constituency. Uriatinani Sakara something. Astana concede defeat. You overturn that in 24 hours and you declare him as MP, member of parliament. Do not mind these that are insulting. They don't want to hear the truth. Hakainde Hichilema did not win these elections. Period. He knows it because the results were given to him. He even knows that Brown Mundule won with over 570,000 votes. This year's intelligence report gave it to him. So you use now the cadres because every single one of those people who is Electoral Commission of Zambia are all but UPND cadres. That's all. That is why McDonald's Chipenzi can even say, is it Toto or something? Noto. So unprofessional. Because in their mind, when they are sat there cooking up the numbers, they were speaking in their language. In their Lozi language. Noto is zero. It means zero in Lozi. So you see, that's why I said this is a powerful tool. The brain is a powerful tool. So they are cooking up numbers, putting zeros and whatever, and in their language, noto, they are laughing. So what McDonald Pensy spoke out in public there is just what was happening behind closed doors. That is why this thing is a very powerful tool. So need body kele, cooking numbers. Because for them, it was about to make sure Hakainde Hichilema wins. And you see that the cooking up of numbers itself is so messy. It's so messy that you can clearly see how they are cooking these numbers up. They are so unprofessional, it hurts. The way they were cooking up these numbers, oh my God. But again, what do you expect from a 76-year-old woman? Yeah? It was so, the math was not mathing at all. One more presidential, now quarter more votes. We saw Reshama videos Southern province. About to 5. Ever Pamulain. You're even laughing. And you know what's really for me, what got to me and how down the UPND are? What got to me was this. I challenged the people in Southern province. And I can tell you, the people in Southern Province did not vote with the way the votes were coming out. There was actually voter apathy in Southern Province. And that's what pissed Hakainde Hichilema off. You know, if Hakainde Hichilema won this election, he cannot be that angry. Look at him. He's so angry, and all he's thinking about is, oh, how can I get vengeance against Brian Munduwire? Because even after the win, the first thing he told you, Zambia, it's not that he told you, oh, I'm now bringing airports in all the 10 provinces of this country. No. The first thing he said was that I'm not going to have mercy. Muna chimona. This time around, muna chimona. How do you expect a leader who you think is thinking about the people to utter such words before he's even sworn in as president of the republic? So it tells you he was so pissed because he couldn't believe that even the people in Southern Province could not vote for him. If you're fishing go for them, neighbor, those numbers that were coming from Southern Province were cooked up. People in Southern Province could not go vote. And let me tell you why people could not go vote. Another evidence I will tell you is this. You know, when my UPND were declining AMA MPs as an opposed, people saw it, there's no reason to go and vote. Why, Mona? And when they were taking AMA cards, AMA voters cards from people, they didn't understand that they are going to reduce the voter turnout in Southern Province. So voter turnout in Southern Province, what was that? Iyakwa president is about 80%. Iyakwa MP is about 40%. How do you explain that? How do you explain that voter turnout of a president will be at 82% in Southern Province? For an MP, it is 42%. The math is not mathing. So all that desk, because listen, McDonald Spency was director of Gears. Gears, non-government organization, was UPND, aligned with UPND. Mwangaraza Romes is UPND. Eh? Baraba mayo, aba berengere twice, niba UPND. Who dia umbi umurumendo dia. Yeah, even pictures of him doing sort sun. So how do you explain that the entire Electoral Commission of Zambia is full of cadres? But again, you know what happens when you employ cadres? Because you employ cadres and they don't know how to do statistics. Irregularities. Where presidential turnout are higher than MP turnout in the same constituency. In the same constituency. And you want to even say, oh, we have won you. You see how the UPND are so scared about this petition? Because even them, they know they've not won these elections. This is a... But my UPND, how you are so ignorant, you're so down. Just 5 days ago. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen how down this government is. The UPND. 5 days ago, the same Patrick Angwa was announcing about security reason of militia. Now, in this country, where you know to say there was militia attempt in this country, would you not think there is more reason not to close the courts? How do you go and close the courts if you've got a militia court pending? That's how down they are, because they made up that militia thing. And because they just wanted you know, it's about controlling the narrative. They forget, oh, quite a petition number. And this is how they work. Let me tell you. This is how this UPND work. It's all HH. It's all HH. Cook up a militia story. No, there was a militia. Oh, there was a militia. Oh, but this is how bad it is. When you give power to one man and he's managing all the institutions, you're all over the place. Because instead of doing what is required by law, you are now doing what Hakainde Hichilema wants. So, what's going on in the media? We've killed Mtoto Kafwaya. How are we? So, how do we make up the story? Just put up militia thing. Oh, so, Amasaka starts with watchdog. Oh, militia. All these surrogates, UPND, they start, oh, militia. Causeway, it's run by Mwinga. Militia. HHE, because he has taught them to run this story, picks it up, starts as well. Militia. Oh, I will not forgive. They want to run a narrative. That is why I even told by NRP, even Brown to say, you have to invest in the media. And investing in the media didn't mean invest in your photographers or the people you are with. I specifically said invest in the media so that when information like this come out, the media will be there to run a full, smooth story, not here biased. BBC. So, HH manages everything. He manages the media, he manages the judiciary, literally everything. Electoral Commission of Zambia, he manages everything. So because he thinks he's got absolute power, cook up a militia story. They start cooking up. You will never hear the end of that militia story. Oh, what are we going to do? They might file a petition. Close the courts. So, because he works like that, he closes the courts. Eh? What's this? Died woman. What's this? You close the courts. They forget that you cannot close the courts just like that. So, it's afterthought now. Oh, Mr. President, but we close the courts now. If they realize you are the one who ordered, this might be actually bad on you. No, Hakainde Ichilema did not order to close the courts. So, if Hakainde Ichilema can go and say there was a militia there and somebody ordered to close the courts, why is Hakainde Ichilema not arresting that person? Why is not giving treason because it's not in their mandate to close the courts? So problem, Amasaka thinks we are stupid. Amasaka thinks we are stupid like the Tuton Kanya. So now, the closure of courts looks bad on Hakainde Ichilema because everyone in the world, the stories that are running down is that this Hakainde Ichilema came into power democratically. So it is very bad that this is what Zambia has turned into. Because even anyone, whether tourists or whatever, who wants to come to Zambia will be scared to come to Zambia because the courts are not independent. If anything happens to them, say a UPND cadre attacks a tourist, that UPND cadre will be free and that tourist cannot go anywhere. And that's the danger when you have a man infiltrating the judicial system. You know what I'm talking about is true. You, the judges, you know what I'm talking about is true. So even investment, that's why you have his people, his cadres coming in as investors. Because no proper investor will come into this country and invest when the judiciary is compromised. He's planning to go to IMF. In fact, IMF must know, and we all need to write to IMF to say, this country, the judicial system, there's no human rights because some of the conditions that uphold human rights. So all these things now he knows. He's got negative publicity abroad. He's got negative publicity in all these international medias, of which he was working so hard to conceal. Hakainde Ichilema worked the entire 5 years to conceal his dictatorial tendencies. When we used to say and tag all these institutions, they never thought it was true. Not until the EU came into Zambia. Not until the AU came into Zambia. Not until SADC came into Zambia. This is when they saw just how porous this country has become. So now Hakainde Ichilema wants to now clean his image. But you cannot clean image with Amasaka. You cannot clean image with Watchdoggy and Koswe. The truth of the matter is Hakainde Ichilema, even these petitions that we are doing, it is actually bad on Hakainde Ichilema. Because whether he likes it or not, one day, you answer to crimes of humanity. The death of Mutoto Kafwaya, Hakainde Ichilema, you answer to it. Crimes against humanity. Because you cannot go into somebody's property without a search warrant and you start shooting. The AU went to that house. The direction of the bullets, they saw the direction of the bullets. So you cannot cook up this useless militia story. And you will answer to crimes against humanity. The number of people that have died in this country and explain about that, you will answer to crimes against humanity. So now he wants to clean himself up. Now he wants, because everybody knows now Hakainde Ichilema is a dictator. Mama, even Hope. If you know Hope, this Zimbabwean journalist, one time he blocked me because I was telling him about Hakainde. And at that time, he was siding with Hakainde. It is now that he has realized who Hakainde Hichilema is. He's now writing, He's now writing about Hakainde Hichilema. How bad Hakainde Hichilema is. This is why his own journalist, there's another journalist that interviewed Hakainde Hichilema. They are all writing about how bad Hakainde Hichilema is. So, whether he likes it or not, the truth of the matter is that Hakainde Hichilema is now exposed. And he was concealing all this within Zambia. That is why he never even condemned these violent cadres. He would say vaguely, when I violence ni bantwani kani, my opposition, when it is his own cadres, dressed in military uniform, creating chaos, beating up people. There's a video. I want to know a minute, but I want motoka. This guy, that is so unmilitary. That video, I don't know if you saw it. I think it's in town center in Lusaka. Now bekala abantu bale wamya motoka. They are katunya belinga bale patrol footy and whatnot. Military uniform combat. So these guys didn't do anything. That's so unmilitary. That's not how the military works. So you can clearly see that Hakainde Hichilema wants to hold on to power at all costs. But the truth of the matter is, the will of the people will not be subverted. And that is the truth. In the end, Zambians will win. That's it. There's no two ways about it. In the end, Zambians will win. And they will win decisively. Okay? So to you, the courts, do the right thing. Don't even think of saying, oh, throw that petition away. No. You are committing a crime. You are committing a crime. And that crime, it will come and haunt you back. If there's anything you need to stand for, it is your country and the rule of law. Rule of law, no. Where Hakainde Hichilema does this, you do it at rule of law. No. Stand by the constitution. Because let me tell you, you fail to stand by the constitution. Kiss your, even those positions, goodbye. There will be no one. You'll be replaced at will. And you think it's a joke. No one will protect you. All you constitutional, no one will protect you. Abantu bashita protect. Give the Zambian people, the owners of the constitution, give them a listening ear. Look at that petition. It has been filed within the stipulated time. The thing is, tell Hakainde Hichilema to say, sir, we have to table this. Otherwise, like I always say, none of you will be safe. And you are going to turn this country in a banana republic where cadres now become the absolute power. Because how do you explain cadres coming to chase you in offices such as the judicial offices? Cadres coming to chase you. Workers. Could judiciary ama cadres vaingila bambo kubitampe ba miside ama offices. You think you think that's normal? Imagine if they can do that. Hakainde Hichilema is not even sworn in. Imagine then. Imagine. Will your jobs be at peace? No. So, was it in Quito? The videos from Quito town, the soldiers were beating innocent citizens. That's Ama soldiers, they don't go after civilians. They are sworn to protect the constitution, the sovereignty of the nation, and the civilians. Soldiers don't go. We only need professional and trained soldiers. Ama soldiers don't go around beating the people. So even our military now is so exposed because you have Ziale as commander who's saying we're going to exterminate, we're going to kill. That's so soldierish. Them soldier boy yo. Our soldier. Civilians. Muma elections. And you think this a child's laugh. You think this is a joke? So, Mumba Malila's acknowledged receipt of the petition is the overall boss of the judicial system. He has sent it to the right court. There's nothing about Patrick Kangwa. There's nothing that you can say to say the inauguration will go on. Uyani imposter president Mrefok Perama Zambians. The courts must table the petition. So this is what I wanted to tell you, Mama Zambians. The petition is in. Okay? The petition is in. Mwiranda muka chanja era wonso kachitana nkane mulepanga omulandu. Mulepanga umulandu. And if you find that namusha fishinga, it will come and it will bite you. So do the right thing. Okay? Do the right thing. Nipo wa pressing na abatumatika tuke na wonfo bubi petition na ingira na irobera. Tamwa win na my elections aya. Ali rusa church. Kashkura fura. Hey, I'll do this. Kashkura fura. Kairish na rusa. Imposter president. He didn't believe that people don't like him. Because he has the results. My dear, tuapate imisango. Okay? Imisango shenocho tuapata. So, you can send all your praise singers here. The fact is, petition is on. Petition is on. Okay? Petition is on. Whether you like it or not. So, do not worry. But the courts, my message to the courts is, do the right thing. Okay? Irregulation, my Chief Justice cannot swear in Aka in the Ichdema. You'll be committing a crime. A treasonous crime. Chimona kui, yonish mwastenda kujitamcha. So anyway, let me go. God bless you. I think JJ will be live. Mwara tambako JJ. Good night.